Alright guys, it's hankmcgurk here, 10/31/2287, 10:07 a.m. Now this is going to be a very quick video, and I'm going to show you my organizational methods when it comes to breaking things down to make sure everything in your settlement, when you're in a survival mode, how to scrap effectively, and then make sure everything is organized in your settlement so you're not scrapping the wrong things. So for example, the Abraxo cleaner I'm going to keep as is because Abraxo can be used in recipes as a component. Alarm clock, same thing. Probably won't need 10 of them, but I'm going to save them back because I can use those to create something like this, which will distract enemies. Okay. The aluminum canister, I'm going to break that down. I like to have everything in quantities greater than 8. Like this aluminum can, I'm going to drop all 74 at once. The antifreeze bottle is a component, so I'm not going to break it down. The antique globes, we're going to break all those down. The bag of fertilizer, we're going to break that down. The baseball, we're going to keep that because that is a component item for a baseball grenade. Blast radius board game, we're going to break that down. The bloatfly glands, we're going to break those down. The proboscis, we're going to break that down. The broken light bulbs, we're going to break that down. The chalk, it has no weight. It's also a component used to upgrade your expired painkillers to sealed painkillers. Coolant is a component. Cutting fluid is also a component. And for the weight and the oil that you have, sometimes it's a good idea if you want to carry those when you're out in the field. We're not going to break the Deathclaw hand down because that's a component. Death fans, we'll break those down definitely. Dog tags, I should have ever picked that up. It's kind of worthless. Duct tape, bro. It's adhesive and cloth. I'm going to break it all down. Well, actually, I'm going to break down 10 of them, and then I'm going to put 5 in a separate storage. So I've got some things to carry in the field. Same thing with the economy wonder glue. The empty blood pack, I should have never picked that up. Empty jet, we're going to break that down. Empty jet inhaler, we're going to break that down. Empty mentats, we're going to break that down. Now you're noticing these empty containers, this empty psycho, empty stim pack. Look what you get for 1/10 of a pound. Plastic, steel, leather. Plastic, steel, so those are nice things to carry in the field if you plan on building weapons while you're in the field. We're going to be doing a little bit more scaving in the next episode, so we can break a lot of these things down. I'm going to break all the flip lighters down. We're going to break all the fuses down. Gas canisters we're going to save because they can be used to make shine. They can also be used to make fuel bombs. Now the gold-plated flip lighter we're going to keep intact because the value to weight ratio is pretty good at 52. We may decide to sell those. Same thing with the gold watches. The internal components are great. We may need them, but it's better to keep them in case you decide to sell them. The industrial oil canister, we're going to break that down. Light bulb, we're going to break all those down. Magnifying glass, same. Microscope, same. Mole rat teeth, same. Hides, we're going to break those down. The Mr. Handy fuel, probably use that as a decoration. I'm going to break the office fan down, the oven mitt down, all the bones. Now I'm going to hang on to these pencils because they don't weigh anything. Same thing with the pens. Plastic forks, I'm going to probably drop those after I break everything else down because they're small, they're hard to see, you don't want to miss anything. Same thing with the plastic spoon. Power relay core, break that down. The bones. Now the sensor module that can be used to create some explosives, so we're going to hold on to that. The silver fork, we'll hang on to those because of the sale value. Although if we need them, we'll pull them out of our special storage to get the silver. Same thing with the silver pocket watches and the knives. The skulls we're going to keep intact so we can put them on pikes. As part of a construction component to scare off anybody that might want to come by. Soap, we're going to break that down. Same thing with the souvenir magnet flower. I should have never picked it up, but I didn't know what it was. It was one of those things that came in with the with a mod. The synth component, I'm going to hang on to that because it's got 0 weight. Break these TV dinner trays down. It's kind of one of the best ways that you can get aluminum. It's 3/10 of a pound. It gives you 3 pieces of aluminum. Teddy bear, we're going to break all those down. Telephones, we're going to break all those down. Tin can, should have never picked it up, but we do have it. I'm going to hang on to these to make sure they don't get lost. Toy rocket ships, we're going to break that down. We're going to break down all this turpentine. We're going to break down the typewriters. We're going to break down the upper skulls. We're going to break down the used oil can. I should have never picked them up. The vacuum tubes. We don't want to lose those in the mix, so I'll wait a second before I break those down. Vegetable starch, I'm going to hang on to that. I'll put that in my possible carry. The Wonder Glue. So, okay, this is how I look at it. I get 5 adhesive, basically 1/10 of a pound per adhesive. Now, the Wonder Glue, I get 2 adhesive at 1/10 of a pound, so we'll break that vegetable starch down. Okay. Now, I chose a time of day and a relatively open area so I can see all my scrap. I also have set my companions not to move. I don't want to accidentally scrap anything. So we just go through and scrap everything that's out here real quickly. So you can just move through quick, quick, quick. I expected all those aluminum cans to actually come out in a pack of 72. I don't know why they all came out separately, but whatever. Now what this is doing is this is arranging these components in my workshop on an individual basis, so I can actually easily see what I have involved, and I'm also not losing anything when the component breaks itself apart when you're trying to create something in your workshop. You don't want to lose any piece of your components because of the way that the workshop has decided to break it down for you. So for example, you've got a pack of cigarettes in your workshop. The value of that pack of cigarettes for the weight is too good to end up accidentally turning it into cloth for a bedroll or a sleeping bag. It's just silly. You could make the mistake of turning a lot of your no weight items like pre-war money. It's got that value, and you'll end up losing all that value to make something like a bedroll. Okay, so we got all that cleaned up here. Now we're going to drop the rest of the things that we were going to break down. I'm going to break the duct tape down. I'm going to hang on to the duct tape. Okay. And we're going to break a lot of this Abraxo down, because there's plenty to be had usually. And I'm not going to need a ton of it right now. We're going to break down several of those alarm clocks. Okay. And we'll get everything in the right spot. Now, it couldn't be any more simple than that. Alright, so what's the next part? Because there is another part to this. And that's organizing. Let's get rid of that. And the blood bug. So I have a scrap everything mod. Okay, so here we're in a real cheap general setup. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look in my inventory over here and make sure I grab the things that I don't want my construction attempts to accidentally or automatically break down. Okay, so I'll take my high value items, like the silver, the gold watches, the flip lighters, okay, and put them in there. I've also got some other high value items here that I'm going to put in this trunk. I've also got components. Now, I'm not going to put components in here. Okay, I am going to put the food that I don't want the game to use because I need to plant this. And I want to make decisions about what I'm going to put into the main inventory to ensure that I'm creating the right types of meals. Okay, this stuff here we could put in the sugar bombs as a component. None of this other stuff. Rotten potato is a component for shine. These other food items, we will probably sell those. Okay, the dirty water that can go in here, we may move it over to the workshop supply to make sure we're doing the right recipes. The extra purified water, I'll show you in a minute what I do with that. Now, these low weight, no white items we're gonna keep, we're gonna hang on to. We'll store the beer. Carry in my shine. Vodka, whiskey, and wine are all used in recipes. The ice cold Nuka-Cola, you can't use it in any recipe. So I'll probably end up drinking that in the field. We'll eventually have a Nuka-Cola mixer, so we're going to save a lot of those back. Okay. Alright, we're into the clothes section now. Now you go to the armor rack, and I'm going to put anything I may upgrade or I may give to settlers. I may experiment with it. It's just some things that I may want to investigate. You know, see how things look without having to do all of those types of things in my own. On my own character. Just makes my life a lot easier, so you can kind of get a preview. You can also store your weapons on your mannequins that you can you intend maybe to upgrade later, which I will. That 44 pistol, I will upgrade that as soon as I get a bull barrel on it. Okay. Now, in my main cabinet area, this is where I'm going to hold my basically anything that I may decide to scrap later or build once I get scrapper. Breaking these items down right now are not going to offer me a lot of benefits, but once I have the scrapper perk, I'll be able to get copper, I'll be able to get a lot of different things from breaking these down. It's the only reason I've kept it. I do have the blacksmith perk now, so I'm going to take the switchblade and see what happens when I upgrade it. It might be just a piece of steel to upgrade it. Okay, so if I have a weapon that I intend maybe to upgrade later, and I want to remind myself that it's there, I'll put it on my weapon racks. I'm going to store things that I want to potentially carry in the field right here in this toolbox. Okay, so you may want to carry that in the field, those in the field. Okay, and any other types of components that you're going to want to pull to build something specific. Without having the workshop automatically break it down. So, components, essentially. I'm going to decorate with that Mr. Handy Fuel. Alright, so you can see what I got in here. Fusion cores and other things that I can use to create stuff. Alright. Now, come back over to the workshop. And we're going to put the put all of your weapon mods in the same area. Take that out. And what that does for you is ensures that you have access to them anytime you're messing around with your weapons, because you don't want to rebuild some. Obviously, you don't want to rebuild something that you've already built before. Okay. Now, I'm probably going to plant this brain fungus and this glowing fungus, so I need to pull that out to make sure I don't have anything in here that so go back over here and add that brain fungus and the glowing fungus in, as well as the mole rat meat. And the Vault-Tec lunchbox, that's a component that needs to go in the other container, as well as the bottles. But I'm going to hang on to the bottles because I'm going to fill them with water right away. Okay. So that pretty much sets us up here. So let's go ahead and dump off that those extra components. The Vault-Tec lunchbox. And that's pretty much it. Okay, so I'm going to drop the Mr. Handy Fuel. And go into my, and I can just make sure it'll place right here. I just think it's kind of one of those cool things. Always nice to have a little decoration. Now, if you go into your settlement and pick it up, it's actually going to set it in place where it's not going to move. I'll show you what I do with this extra purified water. Drop them in sets of 10. Okay. And, you know, you can put them on a shelf. Everybody likes to have a little decoration. So if I need purified water, I can just grab it off the shelf. So, everything's nice and set up. Play around with that switchblade. We'll fill those bottles. Got my minigun over there. Okay. And now my companions get back to following me. We'll make sure they don't have anything in their inventory. Okay, so he has plenty of ammo. We're going to take all that. Ammo's another saleable item, but that can go in your workshop because that's never going to get broken down. We need the 308, but I don't need 150 rounds worth. I need about 100. And in survival, everything has weight. I don't have a 44 right now. I don't have a 45 right now. I don't have a 50 right now. I do have a 10. I don't have anything to fire those electromagnetic charges. I don't have that 5.56. Those 5mm rounds are good if I want to take that power armor and use the minigun. I don't have the 7.62. I am going to load up a few more shotgun shells. I'll take all those. And actually, I'm going to drop 4. 5. I'm just carrying a nice round 24. I need more 10mm rounds, but I think we're going to be alright. I think we can get by. Okay. Now we should have a little bit more treasure level items. So we're going to dump those. And we've also got a lot more food. With the sugar bombs in here because it's a component. Gumdrops in because it's a component. Nuka-Cola because it's a component. Okay, so that covers it. And we'll dump the rest of the food in here, except for what we're going to carry into the field. And I'll be carrying cram into the field with me. Carry 6 cans of cram. I'm going to put 9... With all the bottles that I'm going to fill, right here at the sink, I'm going to probably put all this purified water right into the workshop. I'm going to drop my magazines. And I'll fill those bottles on my own time. Sure, you don't want to sit here and watch me fill water bottles. It's a little absurd. So, I typically like to carry about 20 bottles of water. Okay. Alright. Well, I hope that kind of covers a little bit of organization and scrapping for you, just to kind of show you a good way to keep organized, keep yourself from burning through your high-value items after a good scavenging mission. So, it's been Hank. If you want the channel to survive, I need you to like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. We've got things going on now over at Steemit, some screenshots, wallpapers, load order. Also over on, if you want to become a patron, there's some limits there that I'm setting up. I will produce some extra things for Patreon subscribers. I haven't had the time to produce those yet. We'll take that one day at a time. So those resources are available for you right now. Patrons will have access to the Discord, so we can have direct conversations. You can tell me what you'd like to see. Send me an email if you'd like to produce an episode, and we'll produce it the way you want to see it. So, it's been Hank. I'll catch you guys on the flip side.